Well, it's the local spotlight show here on WJBM Studios in Jerseyville, Illinois, the voice of the Tri-Counties. I'm Chris Lorton. I'm your host today. And with me today, I have a couple good friends from way back. Rusty Groppel and John Evans. Welcome, you guys.
Hey.
Thank you for having us.
Yes. And kind of the big news is that you guys recently put an album together.
Yes,
The Heart
did.
of This Man.
Yes, sir.
Yeah, that's pretty cool.
The long-awaited John Evans solo album.
Yeah. And Rusty, you were a big part of writing it and recording it. And
Yeah, I was, I wrote 9 out of 17 songs or something like that.
If not more.
And then, did the production and all that stuff in my home studio, Whiskey Legs Studio.
Whiskey Lakes.
Yes.
Hey, a little history about you guys. Now, you've got the band Tanglefoot, which we played, local vocals. Everybody knows Tanglefoot. Been around. How long's Tanglefoot been around?
Since 2013.
Okay.
So.
And I joined, 2 years?
2015.
Yeah.
Yep.
2 years into it.
Okay. And who's all in the band now? Because I know things have changed a little bit.
Yeah. So for the bulk of the time, it's been me and John, Danny Widman, and then Ben and Waylon Schroeder.
Mm-hmm.
And then at the end of last year, they decided to step away, make a little more, time in their lives, one less, obligation. But so what we did, we brought in Richie Fosha on drums.
Yes.
Who he'd played with us a handful of times, filled in for Ben.
Mm-hmm.
So, we were familiar. And he played with John.
Yeah, he played in the John Evans Trio with me for a couple of years. We did that for a couple of years, and it was good times. He's a good drummer, too.
So, So it was kind of it was a natural, he was the next guy up for sure. And then we kind of went in the archives. Our buddy Matt Garland, who started the band with me and Danny and Ben, and then he went in the Navy. And that's when John joined. And then he's lived out on the East Coast for quite a while, but he just moved back last year. So with all the changes going, I was like, well, come back in. So he's back in playing bass for us now. And I have changed instruments. I started off playing guitar when we started the band, and I played bass for 10 years. Now I'm playing keyboard and acoustic guitar, so
Bouncing around.
a little harmonica. So whatever we need, that's always my opinion.
Both of you guys are quite the musicians. Do you play anything besides the guitar?
Just guitar and sing. That's all I'm just a guitarist and a singer. That's all I do.
Rusty's got to carry the weight on everything else. He's writing. He's
pawn off everything on Rusty.
Yeah.
Yep, I just show up and play.
My credits are very long on the inside notes of that album.
Yep.
Well, here's the album, The Heart of This Man. All right.
Yes, sir.
And you got CDs coming out.
Yeah,
which is
we
cool.
do have CDs.
Yep, they're out right now. Yep.
You can get them online, bandcamp.com. Just look up John Evans or Heart of This Man.
Bandcamp.com.
Bandcamp.com.
And you can order them there.
Yep, you can order them there online, or they'll be available at John Slots in Carrollton.
Yeah.
And at Big Boys Donuts in Jerseyville.
I see.
So there
you
you
got
go.
a connection there,
Oh,
don't you?
a little bit of a
I
connection.
know you eat a lot of donuts.
And I do eat a lot of donuts. Yes. Best donuts around.
That's right.
Yeah.
And you can also, digital-wise, you can pick it up.
Stream it anywhere they got music. So
So, now, both of you guys have been involved in music since you were little, or what?
You going first, Rusty?
Oh, I mean, I grew up in the shadow of my dad in the bluegrass band, and then just kind of in my teens started to pick it up a little bit, you know.
And how about you, John?
Me, it was my grandpa. He played all the Johnny Cash numbers, all that stuff, and he would teach my brother, Josh, to play it too, and like all that stuff. And I watched them, and then I just picked it up from watching them, play. Nobody really taught me how to play. I just kind of watched them do it, and then because my brother was way too busy to teach me to do anything, and my grandpa, he was always focused on something else or whatever. But I guess he did teach me a couple chords, though. Yeah, but
you used to do a lot of solo.
Yeah.
But you don't do any solo anymore.
No solo anymore. That's about how I think that's how Rusty found me originally, was playing at the Oasis, right? A solo show.
Yeah. I met you and my wife on the same night.
Wow.
Matchmaker over here.
You matchmaked them?
They fell in love to my songs.
On a Thursday night in Carrollton.
Yep. I was the matchmaker. It's not the first time it's happened.
How about, now you're married and you got children
Yes.
now.
Yes.
Tell us about them.
Oh, they're great. I got a 3 and a 5-year-old, Waylon and Wyatt.
Yes.
And then my wife, Olivia. Sweet Olivia. Yep.
How about you, Rusty?
I got 2 boys, 7 and 5, James and Curtis, and wife Tammy.
Are the boys, are the kids wanting to play a little bit, imitate Dad?
They do a little bit. James is sharp as a whip, and that kid, I mean, it's been a few years, but at one point he was really into like music notation. Like he knows quarter notes, eighth notes, sixteenths, quarter rest. Like he he still knows them. But there was a few months where he was like obsessed with that. We got these little magnet boards that have a staff on it, and these little magnet, put notes everywhere.
Mm-hmm.
Wow.
He's got a little drum set they'll beat on a little bit, and some little toy guitars they'll play with.
On these songs now, we'll mention a few of them. You got how many's on the album?
17.
17 songs.
It's a big one.
That is a big one. Everything had to stay. There wasn't one song you could eliminate. How many songs are usually on an album?
What, 8 to 12 usually anymore?
Yeah, I'd say around that. Yeah,
I mean, you could have did 2 albums.
Well,
we thought about
that. Well, what happened was we just kept writing songs.
Yeah,
it didn't stop.
That's true. Yeah, we started off, the plan was like, well, we'll do like 6 or 8 songs, and then it turned into 17.
Yeah, I'd be like, oh, hey, check this one out. I just wrote it 5 minutes ago.
That's pretty much how it went.
Okay, what's the procedure on writing a song? Do you do the lyrics first, or you got a beat in your head that you want to do, or what?
I mean, for me, it all kind of just happens at the same time. Usually, sometimes I'll, strum something on a guitar and think, oh man, that's pretty good, and I'll kind of work it out and then put words to it later. But a lot of times I kind of get the melody going in my head, start coming up with words, and then I'll sit down and kind of reverse engineer to figure out, okay, what chord do I need to be playing there,
Now, you used to write music when you delivered mail.
I did. I used to walk around, and maybe that's where the process started, because I didn't have a guitar in hand. I was just rolling it over in my head. So,
but now you don't deliver anymore.
No.
But you still work for
the post office. Yep, working in IT. So,
do they let you come in with a guitar?
No, I don't have a desk guitar. I wish. But
okay. Now, Johnny, and you're running Johnny Slots.
Oh yeah, John Slots, Carrollton, Illinois, hottest slots in town.
do you sit around with the guitar and kind of?
I have.
I
have. Yeah, I've sat there and played, a little bit here and there, but until the people playing the machines, quiet down. I'm trying to
concentrate.
They gotta concentrate on
How
those.
Can I win here?
How can I win? So I don't want to bother them. Yeah. Nah, it's pretty laid back though. Nobody really, But I've played up there a couple times, stuff like that, But for the most part, I play at home or play with these guys. Yeah.
Well, the name of the album, Heart of This Man, how did that come about?
I was at home one morning watching Bonanza. It was just on TV, 'cause I like the old westerns. I'm an old soul. And Heart of This Man, it just kind of fell out of me. I don't know. I was sitting on the couch with my guitar playing. That's what I usually do before I go into work. I'll just sit there with my coffee. But watching Bonanza, playing my guitar. And I don't know, it just, this breakup song idea came to me. I don't know if it was on the show Bonanza at the time or whatever, but it was subconsciously, it just came to me. And I just kept saying, it's like a breakup kind of,
Rocky marriage
type
of thing.
Yeah, I guess it's not breakup. I guess that's the wrong word. Like they're having hard times.
Okay.
Is the heart of this man, So I shouldn't say it's a breakup song. Interpret it any way you want, But yeah, having hard times, and I don't know. I just kept saying heart of this man. Just kept saying that, I even Googled it at one time to make sure it wasn't taken.
Yeah.
To make sure, is this taken? Is this because have I heard this somewhere before?
Yeah,
it's just one of them things that happens.
Uh-huh.
And I don't know. It just kind of, like I said, fell out of me.
Yeah, he sent that to me that morning, and it was like 95% done. I think
Yeah.
we adjusted a couple words, but it
Yeah,
was pretty much there.
That's what I usually do, especially on this album. If there's a newer song, I'll send it to Rusty to kind of look over, like, does this sound right? Can you change a word here or there?
Title track was the last one written and last one recorded for the album. So.
It was the last one, because then after I sent him that, I said, I promise, this is the last one. There's no more songs after this. And then I got to thinking, oh man, should we stop at 17? Make it even 18. And we probably could have, but yeah.
Hey, if you're just joining us, I have John Evans and Rusty Groppel in studio talking about their new album that they just came out with, Heart of This Man. Now, this one song that you did on the album, Woody Road, right? Mm-hmm. Now, Woody Road actually is kind of personal for me, because my grandfather was actually born on a house that's still there on Woody Road. Of course, they had a farm there, and which was kind of cool, And then you had some good times on Woody Road.
Oh yeah, yep. That's where my farm's at. It says it in the song. That's where I grew up. My parents' house was not too far.
Too?
Oh yeah. Mm-hmm. My whole life. Yep. Yep. Between Carrollton and Eldred, right there. Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
But I wrote that song. That song was started when I was in high school, and I never finished it. I was a senior in high school.
Oh, yeah?
Yeah. And I probably finished it, I think, 2 years after that. So it wasn't like I wrote it and it was done. Like, I had it in high school, and, that's probably, I think that was like the first legit song I ever wrote, or started, or however you want to.
It's a good song.
But I finished it, like 2 years later. Yeah.
Okay. Yeah. Mm-hmm. We really added some production to it once you
it's a little bit different than the original, which is for the better.
I noticed that.
Yeah, it's not as stripped down.
There's a nice old like drum intro thing that was actually Richie Foch's idea when we were sitting there in the studio. He's like, maybe do something, and we're like, let's do it.
It's like a Joe
big
Cocker
intro,
It's like a Joe Cocker kind of thing. Yeah, It's like a Joe Cocker meets Keith Urban
meets Eric
Church. That's like every one of these songs has like a theme, like it's coming from somewhere.
Yeah, we're influenced. Yeah.
We're influenced heavily.
Oh yeah, I can tell that.
You got Dwight Yoakam, you got Garth Brooks on there, you got Eric Church,
for sure.
Maybe Keith Whitley on there somewhere, Willie Nelson. It just keeps going.
And what's this one song, 1995? I know there's a connection there.
7/8/1995. That one I wrote. It really is kind of the song that started the whole thing. It was last March. John sent me a text, and he's like, man, I need somebody to write me some songs so I can make an album. And I was like, okay. I was like, well, I haven't written in like 2 years,
You haven't?
And I said, maybe we can find one, you can use some of my old stuff or whatever. But then it was like 2 weeks later, a good friend of my dad's, been bandmate of my dad's, and Gary Cadell had passed away. And then his daughter sent me some videos that Dog Williamson actually had recorded in 1995. Gary was playing guitar with Aaron Steckel playing with him, and his daughter Maddie was sitting there in front of him. And she just wanted me to like see if I could get the audio off of it, and just so she could just have it on her phone to listen to. And I was watching it, I thought, man, 1995. Wow. I remember those days. I can't believe it was that long ago, And the song I said, looking at the timestamp on the video, 7/8/1995. So that's where it's timestamp read, July 8th, 1995.
What a line.
And I was like, man, that sounds like a
good line.
Randy Travis song or something. So I thought, and then it just started flowing out. I sat down at the kitchen counter the next day and wrote it, made a video, sent it to John. He goes, yep, there we go.
Yep.
And
I said, and it started.
From there,
You couldn't quit.
Wrote probably 8 more songs, and we were off.
I remember I sent him something like, I want you to be my Dean Dillon.
Yeah, Dean Dillon.
Because Dean Dillon was the huge songwriter for George Strait. Like, if you didn't know, George Strait, I mean, he might have wrote some songs, but the majority of his hits was Dean Dillon. Yes.
Yeah.
I'll be darned.
Yeah.
Dean Dillon wrote Tennessee Whiskey.
Oh, yeah.
Originally for George Jones. And
I
think David Allen Coe did it. And then obviously you got big with Chris Stapleton, but he was a songwriter. But that was John. That's
exactly what I said.
For just a question, do you have to get permission to take a song and do it? I mean, like somebody writes a song, another artist does it. How do you say,
like,
well, I don't want to do that song on my album?
like if you want to do like a cover of something that's already been released, you got to get like, there's licensing. There's like services that do that, song licensing. Mm-hmm. So basically you just request the license to record that song.
Okay. And then you can,
whoever
then you can
owns
put it
it
on your own album.
Yeah, and then you can put it on your own album.
Yeah.
And then one song I know there's a personal connection is Turn It Up, Johnny.
Yeah, Turn Johnny Up.
Turn Johnny Up.
That's a good
sorry.
That was
a
also
good one.
That was an early song in the process too. But yeah, that one was I was listening to the radio. Actually, I was listening to WJBM.
Of course.
And a Radney Foster song came on that was like rockabilly, and I thought, man, we need something like that for this album. And I thought, man, Byron Bierman, who was John. We knew him separately, and then we knew him together. Byron played in the bluegrass band with my dad, but then John worked with him
at IGA,
in Carrollton.
He was the meat cutter at IGA, and I was the stock boy.
So it's like,
really?
we met him separately, and then we got together, and Byron loved that. He was always at Tanglefoot gigs.
Yeah.
And so I started thinking about stuff. I thought, well, what would Byron say? You know? He'd say, well, it sounds good, boys, or, turn Johnny up.
He always said that. He did. He would always be like, sounds good, man, turn Johnny up a little bit.
Yeah. So I thought, man, that's where I'd start. So I wrote that, and then basically the whole song is just like the story that starts at, 9 o'clock when the band starts, and it flows on through the night. And, you kind of got this character in the crowd who's talking to the band and dancing and all this stuff, and that's Byron, And at the end of the song, I had some videos on my computer from bluegrass guys, and I was able to just find a little clip of him saying, that's a good tune. And so I kind of cut that out and I put that in, and I made crowd noise behind the band to make it kind of feel live.
It's a little Easter egg at the end of that song,
so.
you're free to find.
Yeah. Hey, okay, how about the song Crickets?
Crickets, tell them about it.
That one, that was an older one that I wrote. I was living with my brother at the time there in Carrollton by FS, and I was sitting on the porch one morning with my coffee again, sitting there and just looking out, I don't know. And I don't know if it was my brother or... We had bacon on the stove, and I could smell it coming out from outside. Me sitting on the porch, and I would just that's how it just flowed at me like that. And I was just sitting there with a pen and paper and my coffee, and I just started writing. And then everything in the song's true though. And then I called my buddy Vern up to bring a bag of ice for later because we're gonna drink these Lone Star beers. Is what we had from. He had a bunch of them from Texas, and it's exactly what it is. You just flow down to me like it does. When I'm writing, it's just like. It doesn't besides Woody Road and something like that, but it all comes out of me at one time. It's just like...
Is that kind of a right brain thing?
I don't know. I don't know it's just, again, like a subconscious thing. Like you don't think about it. At least I don't.
That's what I mean. Well, that's kind of right brain.
Right brain. Okay. Yeah. I don't think about it. It just comes out of you, But then there's some stuff where it's like, the way I approach songwriting and stuff like that is if it's a fight, I just stop doing it. I don't do it. Like if I'm fighting, struggling to get a word out, I just stop doing it, or I'll send it to Rusty.
Hey, you got any lyrics for this?
Yeah. But most of my songs I've wrote, it just came out of me in a matter of tops 20 minutes.
No kidding.
Yes. Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Yep. Coming Home to Me. How about that song?
That was exactly kind of the same idea where I was writing, burning it up, and boom, roadblock, stopped. I thought, well, let's see if Rusty has anything. So I sent it to Rusty. He finished it.
Yeah. John sent me, he had, all the music basically laid out, and then, a good chorus and a verse. And so I just took, basically the format he had on that verse and wrote 3 more. They're short, but 3 more verses. And then I said, well, it needs a bridge. And so then I wrote up a bridge. It had a few, had a minor chord in there to shake things up. But that was our big co-write that we did for this album. So. And
then a song that came out. This song is this first song that I heard off the album, and it was 10 miles.
10 miles to Waco.
10 miles to Waco. Were you on a trip or something?
I just came home from. We went through Waco, Texas. We went to Austin to watch some people play music or whatever. And it was just a trip to Texas. And I knew somebody in Austin, and I knew somebody that lived down there in Corpus Christi. So all that's in the song too, And it just, when I came home, again, I sat down, I just had that rhythm in my head. I sat down and wrote it all in probably 20 minutes. Yeah.
Yeah, that's crazy. You can do that.
Yeah. Yeah.
So, Tanglefoot Band is back together. Where are you guys playing at next?
We'll be playing at Uncle Al's in Jerseyville on Saturday night, 8 o'clock for Al Mosier's 75th
What's the
birthday.
date?
The 28th, March 28th.
And what time for Al's 75th birthday?
Al's 75th birthday.
I'll be darned.
We actually played his 70th birthday last year. It feels
Yeah,
like
it
last
feels
year.
like it. I thought it
Can't
was.
believe 5 years have gone by, but
That's wild. Yeah.
Yeah, that'll be fun. And what time do you guys start?
8 o'clock.
8 o'clock.
8 o'clock.
Rock until midnight.
Oh, boy.
8 till midnight.
Oh, yeah. It'd be a good time.
Yeah.
There's a lot of dancers there. There's a lot
Yeah.
of dancers. Oh, yeah.
I bet you'll fill that place up, won't you?
Yeah.
I think about just every time we play Uncle Al's,
always-
that place is packed.
Always have a good time.
There was
for
a snowstorm
sure.
one year.
Yeah, there was
and it didn't stop.
Yeah, there was ice on the roads, and they didn't stop.
Yeah. They came in. That was probably the most packed I've ever seen it.
Really?
Nobody had anything else to do.
They just kept coming. The snow kept coming, and they kept coming in. And just, yeah, it was wild. Yeah.
So how often does Tanglefoot play?
Right now, we're just doing about once a month.
Okay.
So it's
Pulled back a little bit.
We dialed back a little bit. Everybody's got the new guys got kind of tough schedules, but
And we all got families,
Yeah.
for the most part,
Well, it's nice that you can still play. If you're playing once a month.
Oh
That's
yeah,
pretty
Yeah, that's pretty good.
yeah.
Yeah.
That's
Where
pretty good
do you
balance.
usually play? You play at Uncle Al's? Where else do you play?
A lot of the loading dock in
Yeah,
Grafton.
Okay.
We've got we always play down at Grafton Music in the Park.
Yeah.
Always have an annual gig there. Playing a little bit at DJs. I don't want Baker's and Hale. That's another one we make a couple stops at down in
Baker's.
Godfrey.
Yep.
All good places to play.
All good places, all
Always,
solid
yep.
places to play, good crowds, all that, yeah.
Good
Yeah.
ownership. They always treat us right. So.
Yep.
Yeah. Gentlemen, any things you want to end on this this interview with the two of you? Thanks so much for coming in. But
Just turn Johnny up.
Yeah, turn Johnny. I don't want to fail to mention some of the other musicians on the album. Matt Garland did bass, did some bass work.
Amazing bass player.
He also did the photography for the album, the cover art. And all
yeah,
that.
photographer,
that's nice.
He's a
That's
great
very
photographer,
professional.
too. Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
And we did that out in my alfalfa field.
Yeah. Everything was local.
Everything was right there at Whiskey Lake Studio.
This look right there.
It's
Yeah, good
it's pretty.
shot.
It's pretty much the definition of tough.
Yeah.
Yeah. Which you are.
Yeah.
One tough dude.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And
this one's really great. I like
That one's good.
Good shots.
Yeah, that's
Yeah.
pretty good.
Yeah.
Yep. Well, as soon as I saw that picture, because he took several, I saw that and I was like, yeah, that's probably going to be the one right there. That's pretty good.
Yeah.
Yep.
And then, of course, mentioned Danny Woodman,
Yep.
played guitar on a couple of the tracks. Waylon Schroeder plays sax on one, plays harmonica on a couple of them, does a little bit of backing vocals. Ben Schroeder played drums on about half of them. Him and Richie Fosha and Ben Schroeder basically split the drums.
A little bit of the old, a
on
little
the
bit of the
album.
new.
So it was,
you know,
all,
you
the,
got
it was
both.
all the Tanglefoot musicians, past, present, future, on that album.
Hey, just quickly,
All right.
because we're running out of time.
Yeah.
Tanglefoot. How'd you come up with Tanglefoot years ago?
So Tanglefoot was a CB handle of my uncle John Ward. And so we were just we'd thrown all kinds of stupid names at each other. Bottoms Up, I think, was one of the top choices. So
I'm
we were
glad.
like, we got to come up with
didn't
something
do
that's
that.
like not too stupid, but just kind of a good solid name. I could have put it out on Facebook. I said, we need a band name. I think, how about Vanilla Thunder?
Oh, I would have liked that one.
And,
Why did we do Vanilla Thunder?
then there were-
wow,
but then a
I probably
couple
wouldn't
of,
have joined if that happened. I wouldn't. That's too.
But yeah, one of my aunts commented on that and said, your Uncle John's CB handle back in the 70s was Tanglefoot. And I thought, well, that sounds like just a band, a rock band, Southern rock kind of band. And it passed inspection. So that's what we've had for
Yeah.
13,
Yep, been a good-
almost
been a
14
good-
years. So
been a good name. Yeah.
Well, fellas, thanks so much for coming in. And listeners, you can always hear the music of these two gentlemen on Local Vocal Night, and also on Local Vocals on Sunday from 6 to 8. And also at the lunch hour, Craig always plays a local vocal song. And so we'll be doing it. So thanks for coming in. Have a great day, and keep doing it.
All right. Thanks
All
for
right,
having
thank
us.
you.
We appreciate it.